Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our story time here at the Huntsville-Madison County Public Library. My name is Elaine, and I'm so glad to be here with you all this afternoon. Can you believe that we are already in the month of April? Here we are, the fourth month of the year, April, and the season of spring. I'm so glad to be here with you. I thought we would start today by thinking about spring. You all know that sometimes we read together from our big book of seasons. So let's do that now. Spring is grass, grass, grass. Dad cuts the grass and cuts the grass and cuts the grass. How many of you all remember that first time that you mowed the yard? Is there anything any better than the smell of fresh cut grass? That always makes me think of springtime. Spring is mud to dig. Mud on my hands, mud on my pants, mud in my pan, mud in my can. A mud song of little kids too long inside. They burst outdoors to play and hide, tracking mud and bringing bugs. Look, there's footprints on the rug. How many of you all grew up making mud pies, playing in the mud? You know, we've had a lot of rain lately, so there's been plenty of mud for children to play in. Spring is pots and plants in pots. Don't you always think of starting to plant flowers and vegetables in the spring season? I sure do. Spring is a nest of eggs and a bed of twigs and grass and moss. The cold winter has passed, and now comes spring. The newly hatched baby birds will cause the mother birds to sing. Oh, I know spring is here when I start hearing those little baby birds singing and see the nest being made with the eggs. Well, it grows warmer every day. Shoo the children out to play. Pick the flowers, play in mud. Too much rain, here comes a flood. And we do often get a lot of rain in the springtime, don't we? Spring is wet. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. Spring is picnics in the sun. Spring is run, run, run. Up, up, up. I like this book. I hope you enjoyed it. It just it gets us started thinking, doesn't it, about the month of April and the season of spring. We are smack dab in the middle of it for sure. Well, you all know that I enjoy poetry very much. So let's start off this afternoon with a poem called Hello Spring. The warm sun comes out. Little cherry blossoms are in bloom. Beautiful roses will open up and smell of sweet perfume. The wind's soft breeze passes through the tall trees. There will be plenty of work for the busy honeybees. From flower to flower, they fly and buzz all day. Spring is that magical time during March, April, and May. And that's true, isn't it? That's what I think about when I think of spring, are the months March, April, and May. And here we are in the month of April. Let's think a little bit about what's going on this month. Well, April is the fourth month in our calendar year, and it's considered to be, as we've already said, smack dab in the middle of spring. Have you ever heard this verse? April showers bring May flowers. That's right. It's often when we start thinking about planting flowers, maybe getting our vegetable gardens started, mowing the yard. It's time to think about spring. One poet described April in this way: No time is lovelier, I cry, when springtime rides the April sky. When dogwood looks like fallen cloud, and every robin sings aloud. And isn't that true? All of those things make us think of spring and the month of April. Well, does anybody have a birthday this month? Well, there are some very famous people who were born in the month of April. Debbie Reynolds, the famous actress and singer and dancer. And how about that handsome actor, Spencer Tracy? He was born in April. Remember Doris Day? Que sera, sera. Her birthday's in April. How about the country music singer, coal miner's daughter, Loretta Lynn? Her birthday's in April. And Queen Elizabeth, who is still living today, her birthday is this month. President Thomas Jefferson, and the Queen and Lady of Jazz, Ella Fitzgerald. Her birthday is in April, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Miss Ella in just a few minutes. The flower for April is the fragrant sweet pea, and the birthstone for April, the diamond. Ever heard it said, diamonds are a girl's best friend? Well, that's the birthstone for April. How about events and happenings? What's going on this month? Well, the very first day of the month is April Fool's. Did any of you all play a joke on anybody, or maybe have a joke played on you? Remember in school growing up, somebody would try to pull something over on you or get a joke on you? How about ballroom dancing? Anybody out there enjoy ballroom dancing? Well, that National Ballroom Dancing Day was April the 4th. Arbor Day, we just celebrated that, was on the 24th, where often we will plant trees and we remember how important trees are. There was Earth Day, we have that in April. Easter was just last Sunday on the 17th, and that's a holiday that is celebrated around the world. April is Dog Appreciation Month. Did any of you all grow up having a dog, or maybe you have one now? Well, April is when we appreciate our dogs, man and woman's best friend. April is National Poetry Month and Jazz Appreciation Month. And that's why we're going to talk about Miss Ella Fitzgerald a little bit more in just a little while. Well, as I said, one of the holidays that we celebrate this year in the month of April is Easter. It's always associated with spring, and it was celebrated all over the world this month, just a couple of Sundays ago. I want to share with you this afternoon some traditions about Easter eggs. Now, just about everybody all over will do something with Easter eggs for Easter. The custom of giving eggs is one that can be traced back to almost 900 BC to ancient China, where eggs were decorated and used to signify the return of spring and the continuance of life. I brought some pictures with me today that I thought we might look at together to see what different cultures and countries do to decorate their Easter eggs. Okay, here's the first one. This is a picture of how the folks in Sweden, how they decorate their eggs. So what they do is that they will bring in branches or twigs from outside. They bring them inside and they decorate them. These are all hand-blown eggs or painted wooden eggs on Easter Eve. Now, there are a lot of different countries that celebrate and make Easter trees like this one. Now, this one picture is from Germany. Look at this. Look at all of the colored dots. Those are Easter eggs, plastic Easter eggs that people have gone out and decorated this entire tree with in Germany. Can you imagine how long it took to put all those eggs on that tree? Here is my question. How long is it going to take them to take it off the tree. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's another beautiful picture. This is an Easter egg tree from Switzerland, and you can see again it's similar to the one in Sweden. Branches of flowering fruit trees are brought in and decorated with ribbons and painted blown eggs. Okay, this is the next picture. This is how they decorate Easter eggs in France. Very simple, but very beautiful. They just use a few primary colors, the blue, the red, the yellow, maybe the green. Very simple. Now, I've saved the best for last. I can't wait for you to see these Easter eggs. Look at these marvelous hand-painted, intricate hand-painted eggs from Eastern Europe, probably around the region of Poland. They're created with intricate designs and deep, rich colors. Aren't those so pretty? Well, there's a variety of Easter egg customs from all over the world. My question is, do you all remember how you celebrated Easter growing up? Maybe with an Easter egg hunt? Did you dye your own eggs? Or did you buy them from the store, use plastic eggs? And what about if you all had children? Did you all have Easter egg hunts with them? Did you do it that Sunday of Easter? Or maybe you did it before on the Saturday. And how about a new set of clothes? Did any of you all get a new Easter outfit to wear on Sunday for Easter? Well, you know, it's been said that the custom of wearing a new Easter bonnet or hat or new clothes, maybe some new shoes, it began with the ancient belief that the earth put on new garments or clothes in the spring when the trees budded and the flowers started to bloom. And so it was good luck to have a new Easter outfit. How about any special foods? Did you have anything special that you always had for your Easter meal? I know for us growing up, and even still today, we always have ham. We have an Easter ham. Well, I love talking and thinking about Easter. There's so many different ways to celebrate the Easter holiday, and I sure hope that all of you all had a wonderful Easter holiday. So here we are. In fact, the month of April is almost over, the 4th month in the season. And as I said, we sometimes think about the season of spring being in the month of April, and I want to share one of my very favorite books with you, and it's about spring. It's called Abracadabra. It's spring. When the cold of winter gives way to the warmth of spring, there's magic in the air. Say the magic words and open the book to reveal tender green shoots where there was once snow, a riot of color where there was once bare branches, and a nest of birds where there were once just eggs. Abracadabra, it's spring. This book is by Anne Sibley O'Brien, and the beautiful illustrations are by Susan Gall. Let's read it together. Abracadabra, it's spring. Sunshine warms a patch of snow. Hocus pocus. Aha! Where did it go? Little bunnies for Easter? A little green shoot comes into focus. Alakazam! Now it's a crocus. Do you remember the beautiful purple crocus flowers? Oh, we had some at my house growing up. How could twigs turn into pillows? Presto changeo. Pussy willows. How many of you all remember seeing pussy willows? I usually remember seeing them around water. buds on branches tightly curl. Alizaboo! Aha! Leaves unfurl. Isn't that a beautiful picture of all the colors with the tree budding? And don't you love that rainbow? I think the illustrations help to make this book. A silent sky, then birds come winging. Mumbo jumbo. Noisy singing. Look at the beautiful birds, especially the blue birds, but I see red birds too. Sticks and strings look like a mess. Simsalabim. They've made a nest. Now, what's coming next? 3 blue eggs sit there matching. Open sesame. They start hatching. I love this picture of seeing the little baby birds come out of the eggs. Well, gray cocoons hide a surprise. Abba Zaba. Butterflies. Doesn't that make you think of spring? And look at all the beautiful colored butterflies the illustrator has done. This is one of my very favorite pictures of the book. Lacy blossoms. Here comes a breeze. Whish and whoosh. Confetti trees. Oh, isn't that so pretty? It makes me think of cherry blossoms. What about you all? Did any of you ever go to the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C.? I have always wanted to go. Well, look every bright new thing. Abracadabra. Now it's spring. I like that book, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you enjoyed looking and listening to it as much as I enjoyed reading it. Let's have another poem, aptly entitled Spring. Spring is a most special time of the year, with visions of change that are now drawing near, with fresh signs of life that also appear. Just look around and you'll see. The robins return to visit once more. People have thoughts of a sandy shore, something they know that's worth waiting for, and others would quickly agree. Bunches of blossoms now cover the ground, such an array that so richly abound. Trees with their leaves so lavishly crowned. All this for you, and all this for me. Spring so often has come in this way, a time for children to come out and play. And cold winter winds are held at bay. And that is how it should be. It's time to celebrate, to smile and to sing. A time to welcome the coming of spring. A time to rejoice and to make plans anew. And the dreams that you have, may they all come true. Oh, I really like that poem. It makes me think of all the different things that make up spring. And it has such really good thoughts and wishes for us too, doesn't it? Well, you know, I told you that Ella Fitzgerald's birthday was this month, the Queen of Jazz, and that April is National Jazz Appreciation Month. So I wanted us to think a little bit about Miss Ella. Do any of you all remember her music when she was alive? Did you maybe ever go see her perform, or maybe listen to some of her records or her albums? Well, this is a picture of Ella, one of her album covers when she first got started. She said this is a quote: "The only thing better than singing is more singing." And don't you agree, especially when Ella Fitzgerald sings? Ella Jane Fitzgerald was born this month on April the 25th, 1917 in Newport News, Virginia. She would be over 100 years old if she were still living today. She grew up in New York City with her mother and half-sister. And she got her start singing by winning a drawing at the Apollo Theater for an opportunity to compete in their amateur night, and she won first prize. When she was 18, she started singing with Chick Webb's band at Harlem's Savoy Ballroom and was well on her way to fame and stardom. Well, after Webb died, the group was renamed Ella Fitzgerald and her famous orchestra, and she became the band leader, and I never knew that. I just always thought that she was a singer, but she was a band leader as well. They recorded almost 150 songs between 1935 and 1942. For years, Ella toured around the world, and she had a very difficult, long, grueling performance schedule. Sometimes she would give 2 shows a day in cities hundreds of miles apart. Over the years, Ella also appeared on numerous TV shows. She had a deep concern for children and their welfare, and she frequently made generous donations to organizations for disadvantaged children. And because she wanted to keep on giving and giving to help children, she continued to work for many years. In 1991, she gave her final concert. This is a picture of Ella. The last time, in 1991, she gave her final concert in New York City at the renowned Carnegie Hall. It was her 26th live performance there. Well, Ella Fitzgerald died in her Beverly Hills home at age 79 from complications of diabetes. Ella's legacy was that her voice was flexible and wide-ranging, and she could sing sultry ballads and sweet jazz, and she could imitate every instrument in an orchestra. Ella was dubbed the First Lady of Song. She was the most popular female jazz singer in the U.S. for more than half a century. In her lifetime, Ella recorded more than 200 albums and sold more than 40 million. Now, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun, and I want to see if you recognize this song. It is one of her very favorites and most famous. Sing with me. A tisket, a tasket, a brown and yellow basket.
I send a letter to my mommy. On the way I dropped it.
I dropped it.
Yes, on the way I
Dropped it.
The little girlie picked it up and put it in her pocket. She was trucking on down the avenue. Not a single thing to do. She went picking all around. When she spied it on the ground, she took it,
she little yellow basket.
And if she doesn't bring it back, I think that I will die.
How about that? Did you remember that song, A Tisket, a Tasket? Well, that was one of Ella's very favorite songs, and one of mine too. Well, you know, I have had a really good time talking with you all this afternoon about being in the month of April and being in the season of spring and all the different things that go on, all the different people that have birthdays this month, and some of the things we celebrate. You know, I mentioned to you that April is National Poetry Month, so I thought we might end our time together this afternoon playing a little game with one of my very favorite forms of poetry in honor of National Poetry Month. I loved reading nursery rhymes to my children when they were growing up. How about you all? Do you remember maybe your parents read nursery rhymes to you, Mother Goose nursery rhymes, or maybe you read them to your children or grandchildren? Let's play a little game. See how well you remember those nursery rhymes. I'm going to show us a picture, and then I want you to try to help me figure out which nursery rhyme goes with this picture, and then we're going to say it together, okay? So here's the first picture. This is an easy one. I think you'll get this. Let me get Miss Ella off of here. Look at this picture. Who might that be? How about Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Do you remember that one? Yeah. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, here's a man and his wife, and they're eating. How about Jack Sprat? Can you say it with me? Jack Sprat could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. And so between the two of them, they licked the platter clean. Do you remember that one? Oh, yes, yes. Okay, very good. All right, here's another one. Okay, look at this one. Look closely at this animal. What is that? How about a black sheep? Does that give you a clue? How about this? Baa, baa, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, ma'am, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, but none for the little boy who lives down the lane. Do you remember? Oh, that was one of my favorite ones. Okay, here's the very last one. And I know you're going to get this one. It's one of the most famous. And when you see this picture, I think you'll know what it is. There's a cat and a cow. Say it with me. Hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the spoon. How about that? That was always one of my very favorite ones. Oh, well, it's been good to be with you all, for sure. Let's end today with one more poem called And Now It's Spring. The grass is green across the hill, but yellow blooms the daffodil. It's sunshine on a little stalk, a friendly flower, I bet they talk. Tiny whirlwinds, these little tykes. They skin their knees while riding bikes. They rip and roar, they're running wild. What fun it is to be a child. My snowy winter days are gone. I mourn them, but I hear a song of birds in trees. Wind chimes ring. I guess it might as well be spring. And it is. It's been so good to be with you all this afternoon. I hope you have a great rest of the day and that you'll come back and join us again next month, in the month of May. Hard to believe. Thank you.